using GIS data, it's very important to cite the source of your GIS data. This is something like a bibliography or a list of references, but it's specific to the data that you're using. Just like with lists of references, the formats can vary, but it might just depend on who you're working for, what they want. But a good citation will allow someone to find that source if they wish to obtain a copy of the same data that you used for your map. I'd also stress that this really is a professional and ethical responsibility, because otherwise, when people see your map, they might think that the data on that map was produced by you, and if that's not the case, then it's not really representing yourself or your map well. But if you cite that data, then everything's great. So when you cite the data, be sure to put in the name of the data set, if possible, the year that it was published, and the source type from which the data was derived, if that's available. What typically is available is who produced that data, if you have contact information for the people that produced that data, and then if you can put in a resource URL where the reader can either download or at least access the organization that produced the data so that they can find out more about that. So how would that actually look? So once again, these kind of look like references that you would find in a list of references or a bibliography. But it starts out with the name of the database. In this case, it's Black Hills RIS Vegetation Database. This is the year that it was published, and it's indicated it was a downloaded file. This is the organization, the Black Hills National Forest, that put it together. And this is the URL that you can go to if you're looking for this data. This date access would be the last date that it was accessed before you made the map. So in this case here, the data was published in 2008, but the person downloaded the data here in August of 2010, which gives someone an idea if their data doesn't match exactly, that maybe some updates have been made since then. Of course, Esri is a big data supplier, and this is how you would reference data from Esri or any other sort of database. You know, really getting the people to the URL where they can download it themselves is typically the most important. But all this other information is really nice to have and important to have, because it indicates where the data is coming from, what year it was published, and what organization put that data together and made it available.